Hello again, Eric here, and today we're going to start off video number 46 with the Haddonfield Slashers. I actually found this on a t-shirt and I took some liberty with it and made some changes to it, but I liked the idea on it. And fortunately, came up about a layer short of what I really wanted to do, and I think I could where the slashers part is part of the S doesn't and the H doesn't have outline on it, and it's because I ran out of layers. I could do the eyes a little differently to probably save a layer, but it wouldn't have the look that I was going for. So anyway, I do think it looks kind of nice the way it is anyway, so let's get into it. And if you guys, a little trivia for you, if you didn't already know that the Halloween mask is actually a William Shatner mask. And if you send him pictures on his Twitter, he gets really pissed off about that. He doesn't like that. So just saying, because I follow Shatner on Twitter, and every time someone does that, he gets pissed. All right, so you can really go any direction you want on this with colors. Obviously, you need orange because that's a Halloween color. You can go black. I kind of went with this sort of slightly muted blue. I was going to do a whole team, I mean, the whole jersey and stuff like that, and I was even going to create a team, but I kind of got into a long string of creativity, so I kind of never came back to it. You'll also start noticing too, a couple of videos every now and then won't have jerseys, because what I'm doing now is I'm running out of space on the game as I'm trying to categorize everything on spreadsheets, and so I can eventually start deleting teams. Is now I'm just doing logos. You're actually seeing them when I post now. I really don't post jerseys anymore, just because I'm just doing logos at this point. I may get back to that once I kind of catch up in categorizing these too, and hopefully we'll get to that soon, because I'm probably only about 20 or 30 teams left that I can do, which gives me about 100 logos. So I got a little while there. All right, so you go with this kind of muted medium blue. You can see it on the jersey. Orange, black, white, and a light gray. I would suggest a lighter gray just so that you can get the contrast with the black. If you go with a darker gray for like the mask, it won't pop the same way that you'd like it to. It won't pop on a jersey either. You do also need a darker gray and a dark brown for the hair. Okay, so 7 colors on this one. All right, and we get into it. We start off with circle 1, blue, 0, 15, 0, and then scale it down to 93, and then do it again in orange, 0, 15, 0, and scale it to 70. And then for the hair, if you guys remember when I did the Musketeers, and then when you'll see it again when I do the Spanish Inquisition, that frame 5 is an amazing shape to do hair. And you can play around with them, do a couple of different ones, and just rotate them a little bit like I did here. And I'll just show you. It doesn't look like much, but when you pop it into place, it looks like hair, and it gives an effect, especially if you add some swish 10s to it. All right, so frame 5, brown, -10, 65, 25 rotation, 45 scale. Copy it, and I believe I flipped it to 467, 259 rotation, 43 scale. Then we need to do the ellipse 1 for the face in the light gray, 029, 270 rotation, and 52 scale. And then for the eyes, you copy and change it to black, and -28, 44, 346 rotation, 9 scale. Copy, flip, 29, 44, 14 rotation, 9 scale. And then for some of the facial markings, we do arc in the darker gray, -35, 14, 293 rotation, 24 scale. And then for the nose, this was a space saver. I did period, text 1, 2 periods, sorry, and do it in black, and you go 0, -4, 0 rotation, 3 scale. Again, that's a nice easy way to save some layers. And then wavy line under the nose. This is a common one I use at the bottom of the nose. It works out really well. In black, 0, -7, 0, and 8 on the scale. Then arc 2 to do the other side of the face. I chose to do a different one just to, I didn't want it to look completely symmetrical. So that's why you might not see everything symmetrical on this one. I wanted to look a little bit more chaotic. So arc 2 in the darker gray, 39, 17, 56 rotation, 27 scale. And then wavy line, -1, -47, 180, 16 scale. And this is in the dark gray. I didn't want to do the lips because it doesn't, you don't want this guy kissing you. So then I did, and also I was trying to match the mask a little bit in real life. So pinched oval 2, dark gray, -13, -53, 270 rotation, 7 scale. Copy it, flip 12, -53, 270 rotation, 7 scale, and that does the lips. And then just to kind of help out with the hair a little bit, swish 10 in brown, just so I could also have a swish 10 in here. -47, 109, 320 rotation, 34 scale. And then copy and flip on the swish 10, 51, 108, 42 rotation, 33 scale. I may try to eventually do a logo where I don't use the swish 10. It'll probably kill me to do it, but at some point I'm going to. All right, rectangle 1. This was just to kind of flatten out the hair. It doesn't really need it to be here, but it actually matches the mask where because of the receding hairline. So it gives the effect of a receding hairline just because it sticks out a little bit. You can even stick it out a little bit more like this. And it's at 0, 125, 0 rotation, 12 scale. If you don't want that and you want to do a few more things with the face, you can get rid of that too. You don't need it. Then we do right parentheses in font 1. If you need to save space because you want to do some other things, you could do the left and the right parentheses and then do the bend and bend it all the way so it kind of rotates out, and then you can move them on top of that. I know it might sound a little complicated, but again, finding ways to save layers is important, because there's times where couldn't tell you how many times I've gotten 90% through a logo and I'm out of shapes and I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I'd get upset with it, and I'm like, all right, just kill it. And I scratched it off, and then I regret that there's probably been a good 150 logos that would have been really good. Some would have been some of my best work had I known some of the techniques I know now to save layers. But in this one, I didn't really need to. If I was going to use this one, I might go back and do that so I can get a little bit more texture on the face, and then I can get the slashers print logo across the bottom the way I'd like it. So anyway, right parentheses, font 1, -35, 63, 73 rotation, 11 scale. Copy, flip, 30, 65, 89 rotation, 10 scale. All right, pinched oval 2 for the ear in the light gray, -106, 350, 16 scale. Copy, flip, 99, 8, 19 rotation, 16 scale. And again, done purposely so it's not symmetrical. You can if you wish. I tried to be a little bit more like the mask because none of our ears are ever symmetrical. We always have one slightly bigger than the other. Then to give a little bit more definition to the face, arc in the dark gray, -42, -54, 39 rotation, 27 scale. Copy, flip, 46, -55, 321 rotation, and 27 scale. And then to save some space, I did the ampersand, that right there. Okay, it's like for contractions. Okay, and I did it in font 13, space 68, and bend for the font style, and bend 4, just to kind of, so they weren't just straight up and down, to kind of rotate them to make it look a little bit more like, watch, I'll show you if I don't do it. They stand up a little bit more, they're a little too far in the face. And then I did the 4, and it gives it that little ear hole quite nicely. And so when I did it, it was with two spaces apart. And that's how and then again, the spacing 68. All right, and then I did outline for the wording I'm going to be doing. So remember, you're going to have to, when you put outline in, you're going to have to layer it all the way up. And then I did Haddonfield for Haddonfield, Illinois. This was actually filmed I think about a half hour from where I live, actually, because I'm from the Chicago area. Font 9, spacing 26, bend 26. And then ellipse 4 for the handle in brown of the machete. And that one's going to be at negative 134, negative 52, 36 rotation, 27 scale. And then rectangle 2 for the majority of the blade in the light gray. In negative 35, negative 127, 36 rotation, 47 scale. And again, the reason why I put these over the outline is it actually gives me the outline so I don't have to use up a layer to get a nice outline there. And then I did the word slashers in orange. It's already got the outline, and it's in font 7, and that's at 0, negative 31, 353 rotation, 28 scale. And then quadrant 1 to finish off the curved part of the knife. And again, that's how you do a machete. Okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So it's ellipse, rectangle, quadrant 1. And there you go. Now you know something new. All right, 73, negative 205, 215 rotation, 9 scale. And then established 1978. So I did established EST period. And that one is in the font 9. And that's at negative 196, 20, 0, and 6 on the scale. And then 1978 also in the font 9. And that's at 196, 20, 0, and 6 on the scale. So there you go. Haddonfield Slashers, a nice little Halloween one. Not that hard, honestly, guys. This was actually pretty easy. And I was using some stuff that I already knew, and I did those ones shortly after I did the Musketeers, so I knew how to do that hair with, where is it? Frame 5. So definitely play around with that. If you want to do stuff with hair, you can do all different colors, of course, and then you can add a lot of the swishes on it too, to have hair trickling down and stuff like that. But I highly recommend play around with that when you're doing any character with hair, because it looks really good when you play around with it. Obviously, it's supposed to look a little crappy here because he's kind of supposed to be a little disheveled. But if you go back to my Musketeers one, you'll see how it worked out really well on that one, okay? So thank you very much, and for your support, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And video 47 coming up next will be the Warthogs. Thank you.